Hey guys, we'll be starting in just a minute or two. Dev, AR, I want you guys here say something so we can make sure they can hear you.
Just a
Insert
heads
code
up,
voice
my
here.
oh yeah. Just a heads up, I'm gonna be a little distracted. My husband and I are arguing about a fork on social media, and that's gonna take up as much of my attention as this.
Is it 3 or 4 times?
It's 4, but 2 of them are weirdly misshapen. So far, social media agrees with me.
I'm trying to decide how misshapen they have to be that there can be an argument and not a consensus on them being misshapen.
They're narrow on the outsides and wide on the bottom.
You will have to send pictures of this
I
fork.
will,
Yeah, in my brain, I'm trying to imagine what it is, and then I'm like, oh, I need to have an image ready that you guys don't know is in the rotation.
Oh no.
Because every time I do that, it's amazing.
Lfork.jpg saved.
Maybe it's the kind of fork that you're supposed to chase people around with.
It feels, it looks like a pitchfork. It's not, like, it's fork-sized, but...
Like someone is putting this in their mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, they can hear us all. We'll get started in just a minute.
Where did it go? I had it.
I like how we're all looking for stupid pictures.
No.
As we should be.
I had it up here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Hold on.
Or you can have your time to find the fork, AR. You're lucky it's not AR, you're lucky it's not May. Okay, got it, AR? Oh, you sent us a message of the fork.
That is an interesting shape.
Well, it feels like if that were more giant, someone would be trying to stab an Avenger or something with it.
Yes.
That's like some Poseidon.
Oh my god,
right
I know what it is. I know what it. Are you ready? Bart Simpson.
Is it a spork?
Bart Simpson.
I'm busting that out if social media turns against me, which it's not.
You're allowed to. I give it to you. I give that one to you, AR.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys ready?
Ready enough.
Yeah.
Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark. I run with the will and produce Digimon Blu-ray.
I'm WtW, and I'm very invested in this piece of cutlery.
And I'm AR Pulver, and I thought this was supposed to start an hour ago.
To be fair, the same thing happened with a lot of people with Digimon Con.
That's the joke.
And the best part is, a lot of people went, "Why are you saying that in every post about Digimon Con about the time not being right?" That's why.
Because the times aren't right. And there were a bunch of people coming on the chat an hour early going, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh,
Rehearsal daily saving time.
I saw that coming before the time change happened. I'm like, there's no way in hell there is enough getting people to pay attention.
Yeah, I did show up an hour early just in case, and because, I'm not gonna go do something else for an
Yeah.
hour.
Oh
What
no,
the hell?
showing up.
I actually stayed in the chat and we actually had a good time talking. It was actually the chat was actually pretty fun before the show started. Which immediately once the show started
Yeah,
evolved into
I think I remember.
absolute nonsense and chaos.
I think I remember you saying the chat's not so bad yet, and then like within 2 minutes of it starting, you went, okay, yeah, the chat's the chat.
Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
chat's
So we
gone.
have so much to talk about. We grabbed AR, and we have plenty to talk about. So let's go ahead and just get started, because holy hell. So
I did my obligations already.
Yeah.
I did a school board meeting. Come on.
Yeah, I think it was until yesterday I was actually still posting some of the stuff from Digimon Con, because even the small stuff that was nothing still had just enough information that it felt like I had to post it, but also trying to keep up the energy to keep shotgunning posts out.
Yeah, I was running around a convention in a giant mascot suit and suffering for attention.
Yeah.
So,
So the organization for this episode does not have everything in a row from Digimon Con. It's just all sort of where it needs to be so we can discuss it. So let's start off first with Liberator 12 Part 1.
Yeah, that's right. Every time you have me on here, I have to read a chapter of Liberator.
Hey, it started off with a self-contained prologue, though, which you had to have been happy with. My only issue is they telegraphed way too much that something was going to happen to his mom.
I mean,
absolutely.
I need to get home. My mom is waiting for me. Well, okay. It's like, yeah.
It's going all Nimona on him, like, one more match, come on, let's go.
Yeah. Then, they disconnected by having him dreaming, and then cameos when he logs in.
Like, oh, there's all these people here.
So it's weird. It's weird for me because I actually thought this was an interesting chapter. The only thing I saw anyone mention was the cameos, as if they were like something important.
They're just there.
Characters are there's
they're
fun characters and they're saying stuff.
I do think that was great was when he finds the girls and they have the scene be silent, but it shows the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Like great there. When he leaves, Violet like snapping was good. I will say this, I really love, as we get towards the end, how it really does feel like a montage as you're scrolling. I thought that actually worked really well.
It's like time is passing. We're not going to spend too much time on it.
Yeah, it's not a big chapter to talk about. It has some nice Shoto stuff. And really, if we didn't know it was going to continue, this really does feel like it's about to end. So,
I kind of get that.
Yeah, so we'll see what pops up next week. And then they went over Ruby Mountain, the Inferno Zone in the column. And then
I really liked this one.
I like the art. It really has like an RPG Zelda vibe in the way that it should for an MMO thing.
One detail I really enjoyed was them like, hey, if you see a bunch of players kind of like jumping into a volcano, that's normal. It's fine. They're just doing that.
And then they announced new Liberator arc. Can I just say, with the card game stuff at Digimon Con, it more and more makes me flash back to all the times we've said we wish card battle would be subbed. And every time the card battle family people are subbed, they are just so delightful. They really need to sub it because it actually really shows off the card game stuff really well, those guys.
Yeah, and the
They're
different
very
types of matches they do is helpful if I
No,
know
it
what the
is,
fuck
but
they're talking
also,
about.
like that they are allowed to honestly banter. Like one of them goes, "Oh, clothes doesn't have shoes anymore." The other guy goes,
Mhm.
"She never had. She's always barefoot. Someone should buy her some shoes."
I just appreciated their riffing on the Cyber Sleuth characters. Like they're just when they were just teeing off on them
Yeah,
for their
yeah.
update.
Then we get the new outfits from Liberator, which very Power Rangery. Like the
Summer styles.
and Zenith really
Hmm?
he's not okay. I think we can all agree there. Like it's like, oh good, he's either Char or Quattro or potentially both, which that's a very layered joke for anyone who does not follow Gundam.
I like Yao really leaning into the Daigo Nishijima cosplay.
The
Lab
one
coat and Crocs.
the one It's interesting how different characters benefit from this look. Like Arisa benefits from it a lot, I think.
Yes, for sure.
Violet, I almost want to say she doesn't.
No,
Because
it's
It comes off.
Violet's weird.
Violet's weird because they're trying to mesh her unique style with the idea that it's a uniform.
There's a song by I forgot what the name of this artist is, but it's a song called Goths in Summer. That's just is giving me those vibes.
Yeah. And then moving on from Liberator.
Mark Aaron James song called Goths in Summer is what I'm thinking of with Violet here.
I will have to listen to that later.
Liberator is 10 years old. It's certain.
Liberator is
Not Liberator. Sorry, Cyber Sleuth. My brain
like,
got my.
geez, how long have I been off the show?
I was scrolling past the Liberator section down to Cyber Sleuth in the notes. My brain caught it. Now, here's the funny thing: is this like Switch? If you play it on a PS4, PS5, PC, you can have a really good experience with Cyber Sleuth. It's funny because the experience on the original Vita version was not bad, but I still remember the tech sheet, which the original one is still up. They talk about how you get up to 30 FPS on the Vita. They would not even commit to it being like mostly solid 30.
The old days, 2015.
And then Dave Mallow passed.
Aww.
Angemon, he was the narrator for not all of season 1. I want to say like the last 2/3 or so, somewhere around there. Upamon in Adventure 2. The amount of characters he's played and stuff he's directed, and the instant we got news of him passing, the number of voice actors telling stories about him taking people to movies and just talking about stuff, just like a lot of people popped up.
It's a shame he's gone.
I believe he actually pseudo-retired because of health right in the middle of Try, which is why he stopped being in it. Like it was, when was the last time we saw him? Like 2 or 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I believe that was health reasons. And then Digimon Con.
Con.
No, they scheduled it for 2.5 hours. It was 3 hours.
It was 3. It went on.
I will say this:
Yeah.
can we all appreciate that they at least pulled back from the Q&A with Agumon this time? Am I imagining it, or last time was it total like an hour or something?
I don't think it was that long, but it went over time.
Yeah.
It was longer than it should have been.
This one went over time also, for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I think in having Terriermon there helped a little bit.
Yes, that
and they
definitely
kept, they kind of kept those as abbreviated bumpers, which kind of was nice.
I will say, this was the first time where I thought, what was his name? Michael? He was really, or Matthew. He was really on point
Matthew,
this
yeah.
time. Some of the other times it felt like he was getting slightly distracted. This time he was really solid.
Yeah, very focused, not a space cadet.
Yeah. And Matsuzawa, she's been around at this point for 8 or 9 years, popping up in Digimon stuff. I mean,
Um,
they animated her in
did,
an episode of Try.
yeah, wasn't it? What did she do? The one? Did she do the um one before the Digifest that, or the one that precede the Digifest Zero
No,
before
no, no.
where
She
Try was
wasn't. She
announced, or was that
she definitely
she
wasn't
came
at
in
that one.
during
She
Try?
came in, I want to
Okay.
say around Try Part 2 or 3, and it was like,
Oh,
oh,
I think I
it's
thought
like,
she was.
no,
I think she
I
was
don't,
here. I thought she was there at the start of Try,
I don't
like when
think
Try
so.
was first coming out.
I don't
Not when it was.
think it was quite that early.
Hmm.
But yeah, schedule was very solid. I think one of the high points, because there's plenty of stuff that we're going to talk about more. I don't think people were expecting the music section to be so good, and that's because the songs were a bit different than normal. Mine is that I still think it was weird that Braveheart was done there.
It was
I
very
sadly
weird that
missed that
Braveheart was
part.
done there. Yeah.
Braveheart was very weird to start off with because that was like the Digimon Adventure Beyond is going to have a new version of Braveheart. So performance
Yeah.
weird.
Here's more Braveheart.
Sakamoto was the high point, and everyone said that about the concert in
Yes,
January,
for
and
sure.
that was
Yeah.
great.
That was
Um,
fun getting to hear her
I do
take
think
on Target.
they need to do like a minute delay so they can actually try to quickly sub the Q&A stuff for the Digimon, because
Yeah.
him
Matthew struggled with those parts.
well, because they're still trying to talk and he's trying to talk to tell us what's being said. That's
Yeah.
not really fair to him in that context because they're still talking.
They're also just doing a lot of riffing and
Yeah.
making weird noises
Yeah,
and
just have a translator behind the scenes, have everything delayed by a minute or two, and just have it transcribed really quickly. But yeah,
Yeah, it took me to realize, oh, this isn't subbed. I'm just kind of
well, some of the
driving.
early promo stuff didn't quite make it clear it was going to be properly live, especially when we get like the promos of the musicians in the studio early. And it's like I don't know if those were pre-recorded or if those were just doing my brain has frozen on the word
Rehearsal.
rehearsal. I think those were pre-recorded. But yeah, very solid show, and we'll have plenty of stuff to go over during it. Anything to mention that we probably won't bring up again?
I just like the order in general. I think they've kind of got that nailed down a little bit.
That
I
that
like that they have the game stuff first, the anime stuff at the end, and the music in the middle,
I
and
think
kind of in between those are all the stuff that are maybe a little more nuanced.
I think one thing that helps is they are scheduled much tighter than, especially like the
Hmm.
first one, which was what was it, 6 or 7 hours?
Yeah, and they cut out a
Hard
lot of the
no.
chaff, like
Well,
the game tournaments.
yeah. So some of the chaff, I wonder if it's Digimon Partners kind of going more minimal, because we haven't really heard much from Digimon Partners lately. Like they didn't do any of the event stuff to tease Digimon Con. The last thing they did that was like an event thing, I think was that sticker set for the movies last year. Like we have not seen much from Digimon Partners. So yeah. So stream links were solid. I didn't have any issues streaming this time. Did you guys?
Nope.
Um,
Fine.
they got the archives up pretty quickly. I think everything is there except the music.
It's a real shame they can't do the music.
I expect if they wanted to archive the music, we would not get music at all, to be honest. I don't disagree, but I think that's what's happening is that is like the agreement to get performers. Um, did you see before Digimon Con when Masashi Hirata posted the photo of the studio like he did last year? And
I
because people did not do their research, we got to see people's opinions on what the photo meant. The photo
uh,
the photo was the lobby of Mirai Ken's studio, which is where they record these. And because no one actually properly looked up what Mirai Ken was, what they do, or that we've seen almost the exact same photo from the same person before, they're like, they're teasing some sort of Digimon AR game. No,
Yeah.
that's the recording studio. They've used it many times. That is a recording. That is all that place does. Do you want to know who owns the recording studio? It starts with a B. It's Bandai. Then, God, they really did so much. So first up, let's go over the small video, which I don't think we knew this one was happening. The little celebrate that, the past year's been the 25th anniversary. They went over the TV shows, the first two movies, and the most recent two movies. I believe is everything they covered in it.
I mean,
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
No,
this is the Evolution and Beyond, or
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they covered. I mean, everything got in there in the little montage at
Did
the
it?
end there. But yeah, they focused on the
Oh no, wait, was it? I thought it was just the TV shows, the first two movies, and the last two movies.
I mean, the clips were the featured clips were that you're right on the featured clips, but in the end they have like images splashing everywhere. I
didn't realize they had shown all the movies at all. I mean,
seeing stuff from some of the stuff that didn't get featured in there.
Okay, didn't realize that, but yeah, that was a nice little thing that was not teased at all that I'm aware of. And then what was teased was Digimon Adventure Beyond.
It looked so
that
good.
thing.
So first up, looked very nice. I really don't understand why so many people thought there was going to be like lots of story to this.
No, they said it was going to be like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah, it is. There are whiffs of things.
Yeah, it's like it looks like the concept of a story.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And Kakudo's already said, and it's been listed on the anime site, the backstory elements are going to be posted in some way, which somehow people misunderstood that and like they're going to do a novel. No.
No, they're gonna.
That would be cool.
See, now here's the thing. I don't know if this is something we all assumed before, and even like right after it came out, everyone was trying to fit it into after the beginning. As far as everyone can tell, though, it appears it's after Tribe but before Kizuna, I think.
So the timing works with that, with like the first scene with the car scene.
It
like
does
that
jump.
Scene
it
works.
Does jump around for sure, though.
It kind of but then it kind of jumps around.
Yeah. Like here's the thing. Here's the thing. When we say jump,
here's a whole bunch of adventures they went on.
Yeah, but like when we say it jumps around, we don't mean we're trying to make it fit so it jumps around. What I mean is like you see Metal Greymon and Weregarurumon, and you also see like 5 seconds before that Agumon and Gabumon sitting with Yamato and Taichi.
Yeah.
After they've already evolved. Like there's some jumping around here.
Yeah, I kind of wish they jumped around even more with like the kids having like clearly different ages. Like it does feel like it is it's a collection of scenes from either before Kizuna or after beginning, but relatively in like the same within the same year, so there aren't a lot of wardrobe changes and stuff like that. What they sort of billed it as initially that I sort of had in my head was this sort of a getting us a little closer to the epilogue times, and this definitely doesn't do that. Everything appears to be within a year or so after the beginning at the most.
Yeah.
And that's probably what disappoints me the most.
Contextually, what they meant was it's after 02, but before the epilogue. What we all took that to mean is it's going to be a few years after the latest we've ever been, minus the epilogue.
Right. It wasn't that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Part of that was our own assumptions as to what, to be clear, they never said that's what it was going to be when you go back and look. We just kind of all went, this is what makes sense.
It ends up being like, it's like, okay, so these were feels more like...
No, this is all...
A bunch of not accepted concepts or stuff that they were thinking of maybe doing that never ended up materializing.
But also, let's talk about the weird stuff. Like, for one, like, one thing we talked about when 2020 aired was that when 2020 would, here's a Digimon you want to see animated, clap.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we
It's a
get
little bit of that.
all the armor Digimon, people clap like,
Yeah.
oh, they can evolve into those forms. Like that does not match up with the screen. Like there's times when 2 Hawkmon evolutions. Did you see the time when they had like 5 different Wholesomeons?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there were a bunch of different, like, I think it was Daisuke, Iori, and Ken had like 6 of their armor forms.
No. Some like on the Ken shot, 2 of those armor forms were Hawkmon evolutions.
Oh.
Like they're not like a lot of people are like, oh, they're lining up like all the running ones, one for each. They don't actually line up in a way where you can go, oh, they're actually swapping around the eggs.
No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
no,
Yeah.
it's just like a whole bunch that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thematically fit
Yeah.
with each other. It's like these are underwater ones, these are flying ones,
Yeah.
these are kind of buggy ones, and these ones run.
The visuals were nice. I will say there's only one point watching this where I ever like went, oh no. Was at the very beginning when I heard Iori speaking English. I'm like, oh no, please tell me they did not like decide to dub it and just have the Japanese actors do
Oh,
their
yeah.
best.
That's what I thought at first too. It's like, oh, this is so terrible.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, please don't do this. And then they start doing the subtitles. I'm like, oh, he was just speaking English to the kid.
Mm-hmm. It was just so it's that scene was weirdly specific about the scenario. Like they were like the fact that we don't have any context for that scene made that scene really weird.
You know
Like
what
it was fun to get a little Taichi Yamato banter,
You know
but
what the
there
real
were way too many details in
You know
that
what the
scene for my
weirdest thing is
appreciation.
how weirdly perfectly that lines up how they ended in Try to where they were at the beginning of Kizuna.
Yeah.
Like in a Try, stuff has gone bad, and we have seen the cops chasing after them. And in Kizuna,
Mm-hmm.
somehow everything seems to be okay to a degree, and they're fighting Digimon. And
Stabilized,
that
yeah.
is a weirdly perfect bridge.
Mm-hmm. And then everything comes in after that seems to be. I would say that comes after the beginning, but like
Okay,
sort
so
of.
wait, let's talk about the cameos. Let's get past it.
Yeah,
So Mako, there's no argument. It's Mako.
it's Mako.
Maki's one of the interesting ones where they clearly reference that outfit and it's supposed to be her. Whether it makes sense or not. No, what I mean
I'm less sold on the
no,
Maki
I'm not
cameo.
necessarily sold on it being her. What I'm saying is if you check her actual casual outfit, that is her outfit. Like exact coloring,
Yeah.
exact style, and everything.
Someone stole our
So
clothes.
Louis,
That's a weird way to do it.
So
Cameo.
the one that I say is Louis because he's the only person who makes sense based on the outfit.
He's the only one who would wear something
no,
like that.
No. There is someone else. I just don't want to logic it being them when we may find out who it is in the background. There is someone else who actually wears a very similar outfit, but the context of the scene does not allow me to decide it is them without more information.
Okay.
The mysterious man.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, and like,
because you could easily say it's something with Jedi wearing the black coat.
Yeah, I guess.
Fucking Obi-Wan.
Oikawa wore purple.
Yeah, it's not Oikawa.
Someone in the chat was saying it could be him.
I think Oikawa's coat was longer too.
Well, here's the thing. Everything's redesigned, so if it doesn't line up exactly, I'm not super.
From the dead and went shopping. He went to the mall.
Speaking of redesigned, I'm so glad that Ken had long hair.
And I think AR, I think it was you who pointed out they actually gave Yamato a few background quirks from Try and Kizuna.
Yes, they did a lot. They did a few things from that. It was weird because, trying to figure out with the timeline, but with Kizuna in the beginning is very weird. But there are those weird quirks with Yamato in particular.
Daisuke's glasses.
Mako. Yeah, Daisuke's stuff. Like those are definitely in there, and it's weird. It's weird trying to place everything with the contextual clues about what time period could be. Like it's trying to figure out, okay, when was Iori in high school? When did Sora decide to have a bisexual phase? What did that? When is that going to happen?
No. So back to Sora. I think the weirdest thing about Sora is she's very clearly based on her 2020 design.
Yes, she was.
In like a weird trippy way. Like that's very clearly being based on that.
And that's the strongest evidence I take for all of that stuff being after Kizuna, because I actually had to go and watch the Sora's Kizuna short again. And like,
See,
yeah,
I
she's
feel
talking about she's kind of stepping back a little bit from the Ikebana thing. So that's sort of my take on when her bisexual awakening happens.
see, I take it more as being when they're doing the action stuff before she steps back from it. And also, the weirdest one is Mimi being very clearly themed after she was in early 02.
Early Zero Two, yeah.
Like, that's weird because that is not something that carried through to the end.
No.
And also,
No.
Koshiro in the weird fucking, like, God, it's not Gundam. I don't remember what show it is, where people wearing those weird fucking coats. And it's just fucking weird. And also, the weirdest one is Jun.
Yeah, she's
I
just
didn't
like.
even register that was supposed to be June.
Oh, I
at the
registered it
time.
was her immediately.
Like, she definitely, that was definitely, like, okay, am I supposed to know who that is? And then people pointed out it was June. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's definitely her, but...
Oh, yeah, because it's such a weird, unexpected cameo.
Yeah.
Surprise, bitch. Thought you saw the last of me.
Surprise, it's June. I don't feel...
And then, wait,
I'm glad to see her again.
We need to bring up the single most insulting thing. There's not a single hat in a shot of Takaru.
A fucking travesty if there ever was one.
Yes.
Hell's going on with that.
Yeah. Also, could we point out that, okay, if you ignore the beginning with Harada playing older Takaru and Patamon, the only people other than, like, the heroes who get voices are Iori and Armadamon.
Right?
That's a weird choice. It's not a bad choice. It's just a weird one. Because Patamon and Takaru only talk to set up the framing.
That's another note, is like, wait, Takeru... I want to know when the Takeru framing was supposed to happen. Like, is that closer to 2027?
So I haven't looked. We saw the bookshelf in the epilogue. So I think you can actually line it up with where it is based on how many of the books we see piled up elsewhere.
They were 14.
14.
In this one. I don't remember how many there were in the epilogue.
Books. Oh. That's I was expecting him to have more bigger novels and not just a bunch of light novels. Like, good God, is it one novel per arc?
But yeah,
Depends on the publishing schedule.
The publishing schedule is like, okay, this is the Edamon arc.
An entire book dedicated to the time they went back to the summer camp and Edamon showed up.
Right?
I was
in theory, like, that's the...
I was very happy with Beyond. I love that we got the English logo, which little wonky looking, but I like it regardless. The countdown teasers were great. More so, did it seem like a lot of people really did not know who these characters were supposed to be?
I didn't get that.
I saw a lot of people very confused over who some of these characters were. The only one who people seem to universally get was Mimi.
Huh.
Bad.
Yeah, that was very
running weird channels. I think everyone.
Well, I'm mostly on social media.
Everyone I got most.
Yeah, well, I don't pay attention to that, so.
Yeah, everyone I was in my circles pretty much got who everybody was.
But yeah, so very happy.
I think it is kind of. I think people need to slow down a little bit on trying to fit this into canon until, because first off, if this doesn't become anything substantial, it doesn't really count anyway. And if it does become something, I would hope that they try to massage it better with integrating it with the rest of the timeline.
But yeah, that was
because they've done way too much work trying to make Kizunin beginning fit with the epilogue that I don't think they're gonna.
I would love nothing more than to give us the backstory and it just all clicks perfectly. I would like nothing more than that.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think that this backstory was concocted in Kakudo's head years and years before Kizuna and beginning happened.
Oh, it probably is, but I think I think if he comes back for Celebration thing, I don't believe the idea is I'm just going to do what I want, and I'm not sure they would necessarily let him.
I mean, I don't think it's. I think that because this isn't anything
Yeah,
like this isn't a
it does not
substantial
it does
project,
not
he
necessarily
can
matter.
kind of do this whatever cool little video that doesn't really mean anything, and they still integrated elements from the newer movies into it. If it turned into anything more substantial, that's when I think they would be a little more
Yeah,
careful.
we'll see. And then still kind of connected to Beyond, music stuff. So first up, the All the Best. If you get it from Feel Me, who's making the CD, you get the little prints at random. It's still weird to get beginning themed art when they did try art for the original version of this CD, and that was only last year. Then get the cover to the Watakoji Tribute CD. That's a cover choice. I don't hate it, but
There.
it is a very busy photo to use as a cover. It works fine. I'm looking forward to it. The new version of Braveheart is available digitally. I think it was like $1.50 when I bought it. Although I will say, don't you love that the Digivice is not lined up on that cover? The one on the right's lower. They didn't line them up right. And then the cassette project displays went up today, and they're already gone from cassettes, which is
Did you
not a shock.
expect?
But
Not surprised.
they did preview some of the ones for prefectures that weren't getting the cassette ones, and most places appear to be getting custom backgrounds photoshopped in of what that area is known for.
That's fun.
Yeah.
This makes me want takoyaki.
Also, am I wrong, or do they have the version for the actual cassette wall where they show us like the wide art version? I don't think we've seen it with that level of shading before. I think it was much flatter when we saw it before.
Yeah, this kind of has like a watercolor look to it
Yeah.
almost.
And then they opened a new site for the anime, which makes perfect sense. And bless them for not double checking all the text. Because tiny little bit extra,
Yeah. Whoops.
which leads us into our next section. They announced a new anime series, Beatbreak.
They got really close to actually announcing something at Digicon.
This kind of gives me World Ends With You vibes.
See,
It really does.
so I think, so here's the thing. I think they made a mistake. Do you know what the mistake is?
Crocs?
No, I fucking I love the shitty croc, and I love that the fucker looks like Sergeant Frog. Anytime I say that, people keep trying to correct me that he's not a frog. I'm not saying he's a frog. I'm saying I worked on like 300 episodes of that fucking show. I know that fucking look on his face.
He has
But-
the vibe.
Yeah, so here's the mistake I think they made. Do you remember when they announced Atmon like 4 or 5 months before it aired? And because the early imagery and stuff was a certain way, a lot of people thought it was going to be really dark.
I suppose. I don't remember Atmon being pitched as that dark.
No,
but
no,
it was,
not
it was
pitched.
Sort of, it was,
No, not
it was
pitched.
sold at. Yeah, no, I know what you
like
mean.
remember
but-
the original promo image was where you
Yeah.
only see part of Gatchmon's head, and it's like a dark blue background, and it's like Digimon's going, whatever the text was, Digimon's changing or something. People are like,
Yeah.
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 This is gonna be so grim dark and
Yeah.
edgy.
So
this
here,
is definitely being pitched as grimdark.
Yeah.
And
So here we get angry youth with glasses who hit the level of slightly angry he appears makes it feel to me like he's gonna be get slapped in the fucking head by Froggy there.
yeah,
And
but
I hope he's an absolute little shitlord.
and of course the Crocs.
oh, he is absolutely.
We get a nice little promo. The music in the promo was really fucking good. Like
I hope that continues.
I really do.
I'm not too worried about the music. That'll be music will be fire.
I mean, here's the thing. You say that. I don't think you'd say the music in, say, Ghost Game or Atmon was that good.
I thought the music in Appmon was good. Some of the
No,
songs in
no,
Ghost Game were
no,
good.
no, because
wasn't that much
you
in
didn't, you
Ghost
didn't,
Game.
as I recall, you didn't like many of the EDs in Atmon, and there was only like 2 insert songs played like twice. It kept playing whenever they evolved. They kept playing the
Oh
noise.
yeah, that was annoying. But
Yeah,
like Be the Light's
that's what
Be the
I
Light's
meant.
a great
It
song.
kept doing the weird, annoying stuff. Is what I mean.
Yeah, but they got to when
Yeah,
they got the actual insert songs, those were good.
yeah, but they rarely played them. Is the thing. So official sites open for Beatbreak. They reawakened the Digimon TV account, which was still branded Ghost Game up to a few days ago, and they're even like, we're not deleting anything. Ghost Game stuff still here. I definitely like the graffiti theme. I think works well.
It depends on how dark this is actually going to be.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. But like,
Like if
I
this
really
is
hope it takes place in Shibuya.
right.
the problem is it feels like that becomes too generic of a. It's going to be in Shibuya, so it's going to be an attempt to
Yeah,
be.
with the Time Stranger conversation, you have a point,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah,
But it's sort of in that it's sort of it sort of sets an expectation to be something in that
yeah.
range, and
But yeah, so that's
watch it ends
October.
up being a
We have
watch it end up being a cutesy.
we have half a year, and then Time Stranger stuff. So at Digimon Con, they first off they announced some of the stuff. It's basically people who've been in Cybersleuth. Yasuda does character designs and some of the artwork. Oh Great does the boss character, and Takada's doing the music again. Um, I They give us a lot of information. It doesn't feel like it tells us more about the game fully, though. Like we're like, oh, you're an agent of Adamas. It's a secret organization. Uh, you encounter Digimon in Shinjuku. It's sealed off. There's an
It's
explosion. You wake
it's
up.
the most basic cyber sleuth style premise, and I'm okay with that,
I'm
honestly. Like I don't need a
no,
whole
no.
lot of
So
story
here's the thing. I'm
details.
fine with it now. The issue I have is they told us a lot, but it does not add a lot to what we actually know. Like when they start going, this is going to be in the digital world. It's like, yeah, we know you. We
That's
know,
a that's a step
It's a fucking
that's a
Digimon
step
game.
away from cyber sleuth for starters. Like
and
cyber
survive.
sleuth didn't have a lot in the digital world.
Yeah.
Survive was all in the digital world.
Eh,
Well, sort of.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like minus next order.
Survive was all in Digicourts.
The last decade of games minus Next Order have really been like, we need to try to reinvent the idea of Digimon. It's like, no, just Monsters World. Um, they
I
start
think this
they
I
start
think some of the stuff that showed I was
they start
pretty
showing
okay
off
with.
Iliad. So far, what we've seen of Iliad is fine. I want to see running around in it to see what it
Mhm.
actually, because some of the screenshots we got initially, it's just the Cyber Sleuth tunnels, but they're not blue. You get actual scenery now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would like
that's
to see like when I see the town, it's like, okay, I can definitely see walking around the mock bar. But
yeah.
I want to see
Yeah.
what you're doing in the game when you're not standing around the town.
Mhm.
Um, the town stuff they kept referring to as being more immersive. I want to see what that means. I like where they point out their whichever character you pick, the other one ends up being your operator character, and I would like to see if they both still have the same last name when you do that.
I was confused about that. Yeah.
Because it feels like they want to frame it as the time travel matters in some regard, but I don't know.
I'm they're going to say that. I'll wait until they
No,
actually
and
pull it off.
that's my reaction to it too. But I would like to know. They introduced the new character Inori. It, it feels like this is the fake out character. I don't know what the fake out is yet, but it feels like this is a fake out character in some way. They're like, she's the heroine. We're not gonna say much, but also she has the Digimon that is like the number one matters when you're dealing with Iliad. Aegiomon.
Eyes look kind of creepy.
Yeah,
There's some shit going on.
it's gonna be she's Junomon or something like that. It's gonna be something we know it is. Then we get Patamon, Gomamon, and Pico Devimon are exactly as you would expect.
One of those three is not like the others.
To be fair, they're all. It's just one's more of a prick. It's all like
The Gomamon.
like here's the thing. Do you remember in the lead up to Hacker's Memory how Habu was like, I want to try a different selection of Digimon. So we threw in Tentomon and two others. And then like a day after the game came out, he was like freaking out when it wasn't selling well in Japan. And the lineup this time is Patamon, Gomamon, and Pico Devimon.
Patamon and Gomamon.
When Pico Devimon is the wild choice, then it's like, okay, yeah, they're going for safe choices this time.
Yeah.
Then
It gave me Digimon World 2 vibes.
I think it gave a lot of people that vibes.
Yeah, because with the three teams, you get Pico Devimon, Patamon, and Agumon was the other one.
Yeah. Then the great designed villain is really giving me like generic robot Ultron vibes.
Really? Yeah.
Then they stopped to remind people that the Olympus 12 exist. The Digimon number
I mean, that was a nice affirmation. I mean, because that was something that people were leaning on from information from like 2 years ago. So it's good to say, yes, this is the one we're talking about having the Olympus 12.
And then over 450 Digimon in the game. Now, when they start showing off the Digimon, that's where we get to see the good and the bad. The good, we're already seeing some good Digimon who have not necessarily shown up in a lot of games. That's good. Bad, they make a big deal out of like, oh, some Digimon we're redoing animations for. We redid Gaia Force 3 times. It's like, that's like just the Goku arm lift you did 3 times. Like, they showed off clips of other Digimon, like, I think it was the Renamon clip. The camera angle and everything is identical to Cyber Sleuth. And like, it feels weird that like Goku's the one that they redid when I don't think anyone had any complaints about that animation in Cyber Sleuth.
I think that might be one that, like, if it was exactly the same, people would notice a lot faster than some of the
that's
other
true,
Digimon.
actually, because that's the one that everyone's gonna try to get, basically.
Yeah, everyone's gonna get War Greymon.
But yeah, we're seeing some decent choices so far. I would like to see some more recent choices, if only to get people to be quiet that they think they understand how game development and choices like this work. Where people like, it's not going to be any Digimon past 2020. It's like, no, that's not the way this works.
No, they better give us Gamamon. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
No, I want to see Galoose Gamamon completely passed out drunk in the bar.
Yes! That's where he was during the Indigo.
That's one thing we actually do need. Not specifically Galoose, but have some Digimon who are not playable wandering around just so they're there.
Yeah. They probably won't do that, but
hey,
yeah.
I demand that when you're in a big open area, you just see the Gabumon Bonds of Friendship motorcycle zoom past.
Just have Rebellimon going around in the background.
I will accept that also. Shortly after Digimon Con, the Steam page updated and Bandai put up a little blog thing where we got clean versions of the art, some screenshots. It is very weird. Like, the weirdest thing is Inori. You look at her art where it's like very heavily detailed, and then the screenshot where they're detailing her face in different ways so it looks a little trippy.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah, so far it Cyber Sleuth Plus at the moment. The graphics are better. They're kind of medium lowish end at the moment. I need to see more, and I want to see how the game runs. I also still very highly suspect it looks like this to make sure it will be on the Switch too.
It would make it very convenient for me to get a hold of because I do not have any next gen consoles.
Yeah, not a lot of Digimon fans are going to be going, I'm getting a PS5 or an Xbox Series X to play Time Stranger. Unless they do like pre-order the game, you get an exclusive system and a life-size Gomamon plush.
Do not tempt me.
Come on.
And then, so moving
It's
on
not
from,
fair.
so we're gonna hear plenty more from Time Stranger. The main thing I hope for Time Strangers, they planned out announcing the game would be out this year. I really hope when they announced that and they made a big deal out of it, it does not end up being where they trip like they did with Survive. The game it does not look early like Survive did originally.
It looks close enough.
Yeah, so
it's close enough where it'll come out in 2025.
That's what I'm hoping
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
So moving on from Time Stranger for now, they announced that as planned, the currently running Digimon comic stuff will end in Volume 4. Weirdly, am I wrong, or did they actually go out of their way to not say if it was ending or not? As a concept, I mean. It felt like they kept wording it in such a way that you could take it just as they were ending, rather than the actual idea.
I hope not. Like, I'd love to see this
no,
continue.
they've been very good. I think it works well as a concept. I love that the last cover shows a little bit of everything, and we get a new one shot. Although I will say this, for me, I'm not reading the previews. I'm waiting for it to come out. That was a bit much for a preview.
That was a very long preview, yeah.
It was
They
15.
really wanted to get to the
It was 15 pages, I believe.
main event, yeah.
That was a bit much. I would have said go like 3, or if you want to be luxurious, do 5 pages. And then they kept going, and I'm like, okay, it has to be done now.
I mean, they wanted to
Isn't
get to
the
that
whole
big.
thing?
They wanted to get to that big wrinkle at the end, that real juicy twist.
Yeah, but
which I love.
I
love the
I
juicy
worry when
twist.
you do a big preview like that. A lot of people go, okay, this is a time when I should go pee or grab a snack.
Yeah, and honestly, it's one of those. It's like you either do the first, like given the context of the story, you either tell like the first 2 pages, or yeah, you got to do the whole 15.
Yeah.
Like there's no real in
I
between
get
stop.
why. It just, I think it was a little much in the middle of an event.
And I would have been okay with the first 2 pages, honestly. So
then
like the kid who ran away from being a Digidestined, like, okay, I'm sold.
Oh no, it's a great concept. And then Digimon Web has been refreshed, sort of. So it looks very nice. I hate when things refresh and you get lower and less helpful information density.
Yes.
Like, remember when you would load Digimon Web and you could see like the first few posts of the news thing? And now what you see links to other sites as buttons, and that is it. If you want any of the actual updates on the site, you actually have to scroll down to find them.
They did it to punish us.
Yes. The content itself is basically the same. There's a few little differences, like the number of Digimon and Atmon in the reference books, I believe, was always displayed, but it was not displayed very prominently. Now it is. And some of the older links at the bottom have been removed. I believe there was still links to like the original Next Order site on the old version. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because they weren't done, hey, Anime Japan was this weekend, and live streamed the Digimon stage event. It's like, okay, there's not going to be big news, but there'll probably be stuff to talk about. And they announced some stuff. So we knew the guests were going to be Chika Sakamoto, Mayumi Yamaguchi, Junko Noda. That covers Adventure No 2. Then they announced very popular Japanese YouTuber Hajime Saiko. And they also announced that Terramon Assistant would be there. And I mused on that before, and I have pictures of that in a bit. So that was a live stream. That was geo-locked. We'll get to that in a minute. They announced the photo spots, which are always nice. And they clearly removed one before the show, because you can actually see where they grayed out one of the rows, and they grayed out a copyright box. Agumon and Gabumon showed up 3 times each day, which is nice for people who want photos. They had a big Beatbreak wall. They gave away a Beatbreak shopping bag, poster. It had product stuff on the back from Digimon Con. And they started giving it away a week or two ago. A printed version of Liberator 0 and 1 with a promo card to get people to take it. They had 18 Digimon character standees for people to get photos with.
It's a lot of standees.
Yes.
They
And
look cool.
No, they
They
did.
do.
They did them. I like how the first 4 shows were on the top row. They were also
Like,
showing.
if you want your picture with Daisuke, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to deal with
They
shout
were
mountain
also
photobombing.
showing. They were also showing Beyond and the Evolution promo video there. And the live stream had some stuff which we'll go over during the news. But are you all ready for how Terriermon Assistant was there? I'm going
Is it a
to.
hologram?
No, it's better. Now, Dev, you remember I came up with a bunch of ways they might have did this last time. I'm gonna send you guys the photo separate from when I switched the thing over. Ready?
Ready.
Oh god.
Oh, I love that.
They had a little Terriermon plush on the standee, had him as host, and my understanding was it was the person who does the actual recording doing the voice, acting as the host.
I'm putting a lab coat on my terrier
That is
right now.
beautiful. I love
Yes,
that.
but yes, but not only that, they had the YouTube guy holding the Terriermon plush when they were doing the press photos, like he's carrying. It was just great. But yes, they literally just put a Terriermon on a chair in front of the thing, and just had that was amazing, honestly. And then let's go over the Godzilla collaboration. First off, and here's the thing: people in the chat, people in the WtW Discord loved it because remember what I said before it started, when they announced the Godzilla stuff, I better hear the Godzilla theme song.
And you did.
And when they did when they start off with the Godzilla VPET showing off the promo video, and you get the little version of it coming out of the VPETs, I was like, perfect.
Yes.
So
That was
first up,
so good.
the VPETs are what me and Dev wanted, and our main complaint about the Monster Hunter one was they weren't really Digimon. It was a Monster Hunter VPET using a Digimon engine. This is actually a Godzilla versus Digimon. The crossover monsters look good. There's Digimon in it.
It looks so fucking cool.
A lot of people are very amused that the Godzilla sprites all have the same silhouette as the version 5 sprites for obvious reasons. And also, the last Godzilla is freaking people out as they're waiting for the official list. Do you know why?
Why?
This is the one that was ex-Tyrannomon, and it was one of the ones that people were never able to guesstimate who it was supposed to be. If you look at the sprite for the last Godzilla, it looks to be the one from the 1998 US Godzilla movie.
Oh no.
Which means if it was that one, that means they were planning to do that back then. VPETs are on pre-order in Japan. I like both skin styles where you get the black and white and the color. It's just, I'm very happy how this looks. The theming for Godzilla works, but not to the detriment of having Digimon stuff in it like the Monster Hunter one. So that's neat. I'm looking forward to seeing more about this because it really feels like it works. Then they kept going with more announcements. So they announced a G-eroded version of Metal Greymon, a figure. Now, what's interesting here is
That's so fucking amazing.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's clearly a super deformed figure, but it's really fucking detailed. It's sold out almost instantly. The Godzilla store in Japan, so Premium Bandai sold out. Godzilla store in Japan sold out. Godzilla store in Japan had dedicated stock for people using Bai for outside Japan. That's gone. This is like $100. Then
I mean, absolutely fucking worth it if you could have managed to grab it in time.
Then they announced the collaboration versions of Mugen and Skull Greymon would get equivalent figures. The Mugen one's great because just the name and the explanation for it is They upgraded him with parts from Kiryu. Kiryu is a version of Mechagodzilla that was actually built around the bones of the original Godzilla, who sometimes haunts it.
Got it. So fucking cool looking.
I know. I think Skull Greymon is actually meant to be, because like the corrupted Metal Greymon is Godzilla, obviously. War Greymon also Godzilla. I think Skull Greymon is actually supposed to be like corrupted into the bones of that original Godzilla. I think.
That would make sense.
Then the Kenji Watanabe art print, which is neat. I got his adventure art print. I'm not getting this. I love the frame though, where they do the half of the gold armor of War Greymon, the other's meant to be like Godzilla's skin. Little
Yeah, it's
weird,
like
but
that leathery look
yeah,
to it.
none of those are gonna be cheap. And then
Oh no, that's gonna be
moving
pricey.
on from Godzilla, D3s. So, okay, these are exactly what I think everyone wanted from a D3. It's last year's, but redone for WtW, Armor Evolution, the styles work. Voices for everyone, including people who generally do not voice act that much.
Yeah.
They're like, get over here.
And Kakudo's even point out that like he wasn't even sure he'd be able to get a hold of Takuru's WtW actor because he does not voice act anymore. He does other stuff. Or like Oitada, who's Terramon, does not voice act that often. Even when she played Terramon in Ghost Game, her tweets after the show aired was like, "Haha, are you surprised that it was me?" Because
We were.
she's very famous for other stuff. She does not voice act anymore. So that she's doing it for the toy is very amusing. And I like how they just refer to it as Gummymon and everything, because that's how it's referred to in the movie.
Right.
Music. A lot of people don't know what they're like. Weird. I don't know Clash. You know Clash. You just haven't heard the name. Clash is a very specific piece of WtW music that if you hear, you will recognize. They point out, new recorded stuff here. Some stuff was recorded for the Digivice last year. Some for the CSA, which was the D3 CSA last year or the year before?
I think the year before.
And also from the Digivice 99. It can connect to last year's, the color and the pendulum. The picnic items are different per device. You get Daisuke's D3 in one, Ken's D3 in the other. Then also Daisuke's goggles and Ken's goggles. Well, Kaiser's goggles. Then the special version, Pale Dramon. Tiny Iron Fist asked about the Tokusatsu dramas. I don't think he's an actor anymore. I think he went into some sort of I don't remember. I may be thinking of someone. A lot of times a voice actor will leave to go into like business and they just don't do voice acting anymore. Sometimes they just decide that they just want to do other stuff. I don't remember the exact story for him though. The Pale Dramon one, which the joggers colors for this one always look trippy to me for some reason. And also, Dev, do you remember what I said 2 weeks ago when we talked about what we thought the bonus items would be?
Yes.
You get 10 minifigures of the Digimentals. And I like how they point
I
out.
love these.
So they point this out on the image. The Courage one cannot stand on its own.
It's okay.
I love these.
We love it anyway.
I know they're amazing, aren't they?
And I love how the booklet is the
Yes,
D terminal.
same. I saw that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that is a great way to have a D terminal.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so the exclusive picnic items. So you get the Joggers Digivice, Ken's Crest of Kindness. The third item, I saw a lot of people go, "What is that?" That's from the eye catch.
That's the eye catch.
Yes, that is a great little book. And here,
That's such a deep cut.
yeah. So here's the thing: the picnic items are the only differences between the three versions. There is no exclusive. The only thing is which bonus items you get. So if you don't want the art book or the Digimentals, you aren't losing anything.
I just want the Digimentals.
Oh, once these go up for pre-order,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a problem
Yes.
because these are gorgeous. I love 02. I'm really looking forward to this. So, Dev, which one are you aiming for?
Okay, I already have Ken's D3
Uh,
like 3 different fucking times,
You're
so
you're looking at those fucking Digimentals, aren't you?
absolutely.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. I like art books. I like little tiny collectible things.
Yeah. I I and here's the thing: the teaser videos for this and the Godzilla, they put up English versions of the teaser, and they're even like the pre-order stuff we're posting is just for Japan. There'll be international pre-orders shortly. It's like, fucking better be. But
I will start biting people.
one of the things I like, and actually point this out, these are not meant to be anime accurate in design. They're designed to look like the old toys, which had various differences. So these are actually entirely new designs, but they purposely made them look like the old toys, which I love. What
I want to eat these.
One of my earliest imports was actually the Daisuke one when it was brand new. I got
I
that.
remember you mentioning
I
that.
got that, and I think the Pendulum Zero at the exact same time.
I can't remember where I got Ken's D3.
I
It
know.
was
I
either
remember. I remember.
80 Toys or Family Toy Warehouse.
No, okay. When I say where I got it from, Dev, you're just gonna laugh, and AR probably will too. Toys and Joys.
Joy. Yeah.
Oh,
That's that. For any of our younger fans, that is one of the places that stocked basically everything Digimon, and they were in Hawaii. So it was one of the few places you could import stuff from if you really didn't know how to. But yeah, they better fucking put up pre-orders for these. I'm not even fucking kidding.
I'll
Then
go feral otherwise.
they announced Digimon Expo 25 for fall. Some of the reactions for this have been weird. The weirdest reaction I saw was, oh, so now there's going to be 2 Digimon events a year, one of which will be in person. And wait, I responded. I'm like,
What?
they've had an in-person event almost every year for 10 years. And they said, I've never heard of that.
my.
And I just went, in my head, I just went, you know how people say they don't advertise enough, and it's really more case people don't pay attention?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I expect it will be a bit before we hear about this, but if it's a real expo convention style thing, they can't wait too long to tell us shit because people actually have to like plan.
Yeah.
Unless it's going to be a day of fun like DigiFest and they're just giving it a fancier name.
That's what I'm imagining.
Because here's the thing.
I'd be shocked if this goes like even more than a day.
I will wait because here's the thing. They gave us the name and gave us a small thing, so who knows? It's sort of.
I wasn't paying attention that much. I assumed it would be like the little museum exhibit thing.
See, that's the thing. It could easily be putting up stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they will also have, 1 or 2 mock panels where they announce stuff. We really don't know if it's really a expo style thing for fall/autumn. They actually do have to announce stuff soonish if you want people to actually go and treat it like a real event. And then, so some weird shit going on here with Tyramon Assistant Lab. So during Digimon Con, they clearly talked about it, and afterwards they put up little like English sub promos, and they even had the Tyramon actor doing some English stuff in them, like, hey everybody, blah 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 blah. If you go back like a month, almost none of them have been subbed. So they're doing promotion, but like they do Tyramon Plays Battle Spirit, which that's not subbed, which is a shame because I would love that. They do one based on a developer of the card game telling them secrets. That one did have subs, but they weren't good. You know how I can tell that it's machine translation? Do you know what they translated Digica as?
Oh no.
See, Digica is the Japanese shorthand for the card game, but it's also
Yeah.
shorthand for something else, digital camera. So the subtitles often would refer to digital cameras.
So what was it like getting the inside story of the digital cameras?
Leviamon's a
That's what
bitch.
the Digivites in
Yeah, so
Beatbreak.
there was those. They did 2 episodes of Terriermon playing the bait of Monster Hunter Wilds. So I would like to point out his character he designed after Hikari, and the Palico, which is a little cat sidekick, he designed after himself. It's white, it has a little green thing on the chest, and he put a little orange badge like he wears.
Oh, I
I
just
saw that. That's
Yeah,
cute.
that's great. So they did
that's
2
fun.
episodes of that. Then he plays a match with Hideyoshi from the Digimon card game. Hideyoshi giving him tips and stuff throughout. And then they do an episode they call A Tone Deaf Digimon Takes on Rhythm Game Taiko Drum Master.
Oh no.
So it's Terriermon doing Taiko Drum Master to practice because the current Switch version of Taiko Drum Master has Butterfly in it.
Oh, okay.
So it does a few of them. It does Butterfly on easy. Does great. They're like, let's turn up the difficulty, and that doesn't work out very well.
I did not watch it, but I assume the
Oh,
poor bun gets demolished.
I might need to
yeah.
watch that one.
Yes, absolutely. That is great. That and Battle Spirits are the ones I recommend. Here's the thing: if you're a Monster Hunter fan, obviously the Monster Hunter ones. I'm not. I skim through them. It just is not my game, which is weird because I think I own most of them on PC, anyways. So yeah, a little weird for them to be doing promos like that, but whatever. And then, okay, then they announced a 35mm screening of all the first 2 Digimon movies at the Shin Bungazai on April 12th.
Okay.
And the director of Hurricane Touchdown, Yamauchi Shigeyasu, will be there to do a talk after the movie.
The more interesting part.
Now, here's one of the things. And not really last, like, oh, neat, 35mm. That common in Japan? It's not at this point, and I would not assume these to be nice prints. I assume these are prints from the Toei Anime Festival when these first came out. So if you're going, go for the joy of seeing them on the big screen. Don't expect like a fancy remaster, and I would also not be shocked if they were running these with optical audio.
I would assume most people are going for, the talk
Yeah,
afterwards.
go for the talk and for the experience.
Yeah.
It's sort of like AR. I believe you weren't around when this came up, when they did screenings of a few of the movies theatrically last year.
Oh, that's fun.
Not they did formal ones where they're like, oh, a bunch of these are covered, but before that they did screenings of I think movies 3 and 4 at like one theater.
Oh,
and even in their thing, they're like, we have 35mm prints. These are vintage prints. They are not great. Please be aware of that before you come.
This is going to look like ass.
Yeah. So here's the thing. They say these are not going. I would bet money these are not new 35mm prints because I can't imagine they would have any reason to do them.
Right.
Price is very. Price breaks down to about $20.
3 movies? That's pretty good.
So these are
That's cheaper than going to one here.
Yeah. So this is gonna be April 12th. So if you're gonna be there. So yeah. So it is an interesting choice because outside of Digimon the movie in the US, you do not think of those 3 movies as being a set.
They just happen to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They just have to be 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, that didn't stop me from doing that set for the Blu-ray, but it made
yeah.
sense to do that for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it makes sense for us.
Yeah. Then we have updates for New Century. Okay, so AR, this Digimon was in an ad like 4 or 5 months ago. It was in an ad for it was like a test ad that people were seeing to the point that people weren't sure if it was real or not. We get the silhouette and we see the Digimon, and I'm not sure we have the name yet, but it's probably Cigaramon. This Digimon has been mentioned in text in the game to some degree or another, going back a while, because in theory it's related in some ways to Ranamon, it's related to Ryugumon. So hooray. This
Oh
is
yeah, because the legend and
yes,
whatnot.
the
Blue
Dragon
fish.
Palace. This is one that's been teased quite a bit. So it exists. It's there. I need to check to see if we actually know the name. And then bless trademark filings popping up. We saw the trademark and address for Digimon Elysion, and a lot of people noticed, hey, that thing in the logo looks like that thing from Liberator. And then so it was teased at Card Game Festival, where we get the little teaser thing. And the thing that was interesting about that was, I don't remember if it was before or after that teaser, they show like a card game commercial. And in the commercial, you clearly see someone playing an app game, and they clearly stuck that footage in there on purpose.
Remember that being pointed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an app game thing for the card game with a story with a new Digimon. We see Gemmon, which that feels like a fucking that's like Jesus Christ, that's a gotcha that's a gotcha thing.
That's a magical girl mascot.
Yeah, because they got to get your gotcha money.
It's like that's a Precure character right there.
It's like that thing's gonna get you to sign a contract.
Give us all your money. Give us all your money.
Which of these three is gonna make a wish?
The interesting thing is so the first reaction is it's weird that it's not Liberator, but two, it may be. There's multiple things in the trailer that multiple people point out. This may be in Liberator, maybe. Because certain things.
Interesting choice of character names.
Hey, none of them are named Dreadnought.
Yeah, none of these.
Close.
Although I will say, Valner Dragnog is pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So there'll be a closed beta soon-ish.
Dragnoff even.
No, you got to do the throat Dragnog.
Dragnoff.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Well, it's a foo at the end.
Okay, I will say this. My favorite complaint about this so far was someone going, why does the card game app have to be gotcha shit? That's what a card game is. That's the entire point. It's gotcha.
You played any kind of card game app.
That's what it's
is. It's always fucking gotcha.
It's gotcha and waifus. Where have you been?
Yeah, that's why it's called gotcha. We gotcha money. But yeah, we'll definitely be hearing more about this. The most interesting to me is they actually talked about having exclusive Digi-Alley cards. Now, I'm not sure if they're actually saying they're called Digi-Alley cards or if they're just shortening Digimon Alysion to Digi-Alley. I'm sure they're shortening it that way, but what I mean is are they going to actually somehow label them as that?
I assumed it'd be kind of like Pokemon Pocket, where it's just like some cards, due to the way that the mechanics are between the physical game and card game, are gonna be a little different.
Also, am I wrong, or is Future definitely somehow related to Close and Unchained? Just that name, feels, yeah.
Probably also related to Mon from Rear Eyes.
Ooh. Then we get a little sprite of Gemmon.
That's so fucking cute.
That is a
contract.
I desperately hope that this thing has an attack which just swings the fucking tail at people to beam them with those diamonds.
Oh my god, yes.
Because it's like, oh, it has a cute fluffy tail that also has sharp points.
This thing needs to have Gumdramon's moveset.
And then
it just full bashes you to death.
Right.
And then we all have to stretch. You ready for cards? Take a sip of drink.
Fuck,
man.
Oh no, they've been going nuts with these. We have to give them at least all minor due. Ready?
No.
Island Adventure screenshot card. I can tell that's not the remaster I worked on.
Nope.
Ditto for our Courage United. Although I like that they used that screenshot, to be honest. I think that works well for framing. Andromon. I actually really like the card.
Pretty.
It is a bit odd of a pose. You know what this feels like? This feels like someone posing a Fig Arts. Like the leg can pose like this. Then this was, I think this was probably the art that most people wanted to comment on. The Sunomon where it's stuck upside down on its point and it's crying. And Cormon's like, oh shit, what the fuck?
I don't have hands to help you.
Yeah. And then Coromon and Sunomon in the desert.
Right side up.
This may not be a better situation.
War Greymon Ace, which we've seen this art a lot, but it looks good as a card. Same for Metal Grumon Ace, and I like that they made sure the cards lined up.
Ah, yes.
I love when they do that. Okay, so Armor Evolution / Digivolution. Everyone was very mad that the Japanese was not Digimental Up and the dub was not Digi Armor Energize.
With the ellipsis after the
Yes.
Lost
opportunities.
Magnamon looks great. Has Magnamon had a bad card yet? Did Magnamon have one of those cards in the first EX booster where we're getting more and more upset as we were getting previews?
Where it was all just like the same fucking copy-paste background?
Was Magnamon...
I don't think he did.
Okay. Gumdramon, good art. A bit goofy is good for Gumdramon. The Restordramon, I love that it's like the same pose almost as Gumdramon.
Just kind of surfing-ish.
Swinging her ass tail around like Gemmon.
Tigeroo gets for cross-up. See, when we hit the HD shows, it almost looks like real card art. Great image of Greymon fighting Blimpmon. Or Gardramon, sorry. Not I keep wanting to call that motherfucker Blimpmon. Because
I would love to see Greymon fighting a Blimpmon.
I keep looking at it and not seeing the rest, and I keep going, oh, it's a Blimpmon trying to crash into him.
That's a hatch. Yeah, that's the hatch.
Then Garurumon. This feels awkward. This feels awkward to me, the art. It's too much. Sunarizamon, they really should have just called him Sun Lizardmon. Sunarizamon, I like this. Very nice sunset. Shoutmon King, he's very Shoutmon in this art. That's all I have to say.
Shoutmon King. Have we gotten King version before?
I think we've gotten 1 or 2 cards for him before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
X7 Superior Mode. We've definitely got art from him. I don't believe they normally do the rotation effect with both. They normally show the orbiting red energy or little dots representing Digimon. This time we get both.
Fancy.
I want to say his last card didn't seem as fancy.
I think the last one was just like model kit art-ish cover.
I think that was X6. I don't remember. Sociomon. That is a take on his profile art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They have to spread out the good Atmon. So a lot of them are like, oh, this is a character.
It's like I'm still getting excited about Atmon being in the card set, and
they're doing their best. They're doing their best to make you not feel that way.
Yeah, suddenly going, oh right, these shitheads were also part of the collection.
App Link, which again, I'm happy we're 2 shows in HD getting screen cap cards because it actually looks nice.
And like the other ones being just kind of scrungly and gritty.
Yeah. Then we Gaiamon they went nuts and showed us everything all at once. So Gaiamon they showed us the normal cards, then they revealed that Japan and English version of the card games will get different parallel cards.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a neat little trick there. Then Gossipmon. I like it, but this does fall into, again, it's nice to get a bunch of eclectic Atmon, but a lot of these, I don't think even a lot of Atmon fans would know some of these characters exist.
I remember Gossipmon. I don't remember him with this design, but I remember Gossipmon.
And then Charismon, who people definitely will remember. That's good art, and that is basically based on his profile art.
Yeah.
To such a degree, I don't remember who drew the profile art. I wonder if it was Nakano Haito, and he just redrew it. And then some more VIP art. Pyokomon gets some really awesome art here. The cartoon freak out. I love that art.
I can't tell if it's jumping down or getting launched up into the air.
I wanted to say fall down, but now that you've said that, I wonder. Floramon and Mushmon.
I like the Floramon one a bit more.
I do also. Destromon.
That looks fucking badass.
It does. It's also one of those weird Digimon that because it's so large and like it doesn't move much. You kind of go, yes, that's what Destromon should be.
It's just a mountain.
And look, everyone, it's Zenith, but he does not look like he wants to fight Amuro.
This looks like more like a thirst trap image.
He's
okay.
I was gonna say he's stoned, but
Dracomon X, really good painted art. I actually really like this. Although, does it feel like it's not quite green enough?
It does lean a little more bluish.
Yeah.
It's a little blue. It's close enough though. He's always been kind of a teal.
True. Then Examon X. It is always weird to see this motherfucker because it feels like he does not appear big enough.
Spikes.
And then I have to say, okay, I really love this like stocky Agumon.
A chunky baby, and I went to hug him.
I like it. And then Cyclomon. The way I put it is you get to see his anger in this image at not being in the Godzilla collaboration.
Maybe better luck next time.
Wind Guardians is fucking great. What I like is we've gotten images like this for Wind Guardian stuff before, like the Pendulum Z promo image was a number of Wind Guardian Digimon hanging around a pond.
I like Vidramon's just fucking vibing there.
Everyone's been like, I wish I could be as happy as
everyone's just chilling out. I just like seeing more Palmamon again.
Palmamon was in the original piece of art.
Still.
No. I like it too. I'm just saying. Griffinmon. What's weird is there's nothing special about this. I just weirdly like it. It's the colors, I think.
I really like the lighting. It has kind of like the dawn kind of look to it.
Okay. Then we get a card with actual different names in Japan. Yes, Japan's #1 fighting boss / the champion ultimate fighter.
I never watched the
that is
dub
that is tailored to both versions pretty well, to be honest. I would say the screen cap actually works well here. Honestly, the framing works.
That's the right shot to use.
And then we get Geogreymon running forward. That is weird because I think it's supposed to be his horn impulse, but it feels more like he's just running angrily.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, Ghostmon just looks good. I have nothing to say. It's just good. Shopmon with Bellstarmon. That's actually a good team up. Then special parallel previews, which we got from the end of Card Game Fest. We got the alternate special versions of Agumon, Gabumon from the starters. These are completely random which one you get.
Oh no.
Not quite as rare as Ghost Rares, but it feels mean because these are really good. And then they showed off very special rare from Boosted 21. I love this Taichi card. It actually uses screenshots really well.
Yeah.
Like that looks great.
Yeah.
Then
shrunken down, they look a lot more crisp.
Mm-hmm.
A few of these, I wonder if they redrew something. Like if you look at the top right with Yamato and Taichi with the smiles, something about that feels like it's been traced over.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't. That may just be shrinking, but something else. Then more special parallel cards for Booster 1. Medusumon, which is our first look at the ultimate of Elysimon. We had not seen this Digimon before this, except in silhouette.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, we all had that reaction. Then Pinocchiomon, Ace, Ragdamon, and Gaiamon. They showed a lot of Gaiamon previews that night. Plus a preview of the Omegamon serial number card. My opinion with these is the same as always. If you get one, I feel like you only have two choices. Frame it, wait for the right moment, and fucking sell it.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Like
some will pay stupid amounts of money for it.
Yeah, and then invariably they will try to post on Twitter or Reddit, look what I have. And it's like, great,
Yeah,
like
you gave me lots of money for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Then let's see, let's see, Wargreymon X signature card from Asmaria.
That's really fucking cool.
I know.
Love the little shredded cape.
See, I like when Asmaria does other stuff because people forget. Like, I've occasionally pulled up images to show. Like, it's weird. Like for Digimon, we have such a specific thought of his art, but then like he does
super spiky, armored.
But then like for Gundam, he does the super deformed mini comics.
Yeah, I remember first seeing that when you linked, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you sure this is the same person?"
Yes, and he does the promo art for Symphogear. And it's like weird because like for the Gundam mini comics, he's not drawing Gundams, he's drawing humans, like his SD. And it's like just trippy. Ranamon gets a signature card. I love the background with Calamarimon.
Yeah, I like the background.
That one's special.
Especially like the limited color in the background.
Agnemon walking away after blowing shit up.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Dev, did you look at the article and notice that there was a bit of a link there?
No, not at all.
If you look, my actual description of the card reads: the Agnemon/Agunimon signature card features some insanely high-looking art of it that feels like it's him walking away after lighting the place up, plus a gold foil reproduction. Blah blah. If you look, the part about lighting the place up is green. If you click it, it actually goes to the YouTube of that.
That is perfect.
Titamon.
One brain cell.
Titamon's roughly the same pose, but more menacing. Grace Novamon, very mecha. Very mecha.
Oh, this gives more like Transformers comic book cover vibes.
It does.
That gives me Final Fantasy boss fight.
I love that Dianamon and Apollomon, you can see the energy silhouettes for the scale.
Oh, I didn't even notice until you pointed that out.
V-Jump. Nothing super special in V-Jump for the cards this month. V-Jump in general this month was, the publishing date is the 19th, so they absolutely can't have anything in there having to do with Digimon Con.
Nope.
Because even if you keep leaks from happening, it's out first. Let's see. Okay, Card Game Fest, they just kept fucking going, was the funny part. So, they show off the first card preview for EX9 versus Monster, which is themed on the original V-Pets. We get a Greymon card, and everyone loves the custom border.
It looks really fucking badass. I want more cards with this border.
They give us an early art preview of Cyber Eden. They give us art preview of Sinister Order. Preview of Billion Bullet. They show off the Rise of Digimon accessory box, which we'll mention more about shortly. And that's also where they showed off the teaser for the card game thing. And then they really just like went nuts. So at Digimon Con, on top of Liberator,
fucking many cards.
Yeah, they really went nuts. So they showed off the autograph cards from World Convergence early, new sleeves. Then for Cyber Eden, they showed off new art. They showed off a Metal Greymon for the EX09. They showed off Apocalypse for the anime villains set. They announced BT23, which is going to be based on Hacker's Memory, and they showed off Art of Erica. See, that one surprised me because it feels like the main theme for that should be either Time Stranger or Beatbreak. It feels like that being a hacker's memory. It feels like that being a hacker's memory thing was they couldn't commit by the time they had to start working on the set, so they just made it like a second Cybersuit set. It's very strange because they normally like to spread this stuff out. I think this was like a filler theme.
So it works because of the anniversary too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the anniversary of Hacker's Memory.
It's not for Hacker's Memory, but hey, yeah. I don't mind more Hacker's stuff.
They're not. Billion Bullets Up for Bird. I think this is the first limited card pack that in the English version you can actually order the same as the Japanese. Like 3 and 4 they made into like a mini booster and stuff. This is like, I think, and they previewed all the new stuff already, which is neat. Then the Rise of Digimon said, okay, so first off, let's just start. This is $200. You get 12 gold black foil cards, all new. A synthetic leather card box that holds 1,000 cards. That Omegamon playmat, which I love the design with the cape being like all the child level heroes. The sleeves are also great. The counter markers featuring the sprite of Omegamon like his little dice. Completely sold out last I checked.
Mm-hmm.
Not a shock.
Yeah, but I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Ancient Warriors preview set 2. I still love the theme being so unified for these. It worked so well for these Digimon. Card Battle did a Tyrant Kabuterimon Royal Knights battle. And that's it for cards. They went nuts the last few weeks for card fans. Like, card fans got a ton the last few weeks.
They're eating very well.
Yeah. Then, new products at Premium Bandai featuring adventure watercolor art of the perfect levels. Really solid art.
Nice.
I don't think I have much to say about them because it's new art. It also feels like we've seen it before.
Poses are pretty generic.
Yeah, I like the art, but I don't have much to say about it. And then a bit more art stuff. So first, the wallpapers from Digimon Con. They put up 4 during the show. Found the highest resolution ones they had and backed them up. I love the Terriermon one. It just looks so goofy.
I like that it's distinctively assistant too.
Yes. And then they showed off art by Kenji Watanabe that will be on products throughout the year like they did for Adventure last year. I love the designs on these. Daisuke with the Vmon and XVmon, Ken with Wormmon, Stingmon, Paildramon with Daisuke and Ken, and Dragon Mode and Fighter Mode for Paildramon. I like how the first 3 are all tricolor, but the third color is white. And the third color is like red highlights on the last one. It looks really good. So we'll see what product. Yeah, they really need to do like prints of these. And I've seen multiple people like, do you know if they're gonna do sleeves for cards?
Yeah.
That would fit really well.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Especially with the current aspect ratios and everything.
Multiple people have messaged me going, I know like they're gonna do shirts and stuff like this. Do you know if they're gonna do sleeves? And it's like, I no idea. It makes sense.
They fucking better.
Then at Digimon Con, they showed off a prototype of Kaiser Greymon, the model kit to show. And I like when they showed off the art again. The art was a bit different, and they pointed out, and it's clearly a teaser for Suzanumon Amplified. That is a great way to tease it, honestly. And then a few days ago, WtW's put up silhouettes for more, and very quickly we found the images, and then today they properly announced everything. A Wargreymon figure, a Kalumon plush, and a Terriermon plush.
God, that Calamons.
I want that fucking Kulumon plush so badly.
So they will all be available to order on the 26th at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, and they will all be $30.
Yeah, I'm just getting the Kudo because, I mean, I'm glad that there's a Terriermon plush, but it kind of looks fucking goofy.
You know what it needs? A lab coat.
Yes.
I like how we came up with the answer at the same time. But yeah, it looks good. It needs a lab coat though. If someone buys this, send us a photo of it with a lab coat. Very impressive. Then let's see next up. Oh, they did a few product previews in VJump. Oh no, we were behind on the images. There are the WtW's, and now we're caught up. They went over the watercolor products. They went over the model kit, and then they showed off, and this is interesting, interior decorations. So clock, magnetic hooks, wall lights. Am I wrong, or did they do an Agumon one of these a few years ago? Where it's like a black
Agumon clock?
No, a wall light where it's like a black metal silhouette of Agumon, and like the wall was indirect from the back. I swear we got some.
I don't recall.
I swear we did. And then mini mirrors for 600 yen. And of course, New Annabirth opens in April, so it'll be back up to 2 stores. And we assume the other one probably closed because of this. And then the single most rage-inducing thing possible.
Wow.
At the stage thing, I see that they talked about the karaoke collaboration. Like, oh, they're going to show off everything before ARs on the show we can talk about it. No, they just teased it.
It all has blue curacao that we've covered it.
There's definitely blue curacao in the Daisuke drink.
Yep. Everything has blue curacao and sesame for Joe.
How dare they? They didn't.
You need to remember like a single sad marshmallow or random strawberry.
Oh, believe me.
Well, the strawberry will be Soru Mako.
See, here's the thing. Here's how AR will know when this has been announced. It's just gonna be me yelling at him in the chat.
Like, can I come back on?
It's just gonna be like, it's gonna be me in all caps going, "We got the collaboration. AR, can you make it on Monday? We have to talk about vomit-inducing drinks."
Cancel everything. This is the most important thing.
Now, here's what's interesting. The wording is not clear to me when they're like, oh, 6 Digimon Adventure 2 themed gifts with themed drinks. Are they saying it's a 6 coasters, or are there actual drinks for everyone?
Yeah, are we getting 20 different drinks?
I feel like we'll only get 20 drinks if multiple are variations on a theme.
I mean, there's going to be 2 for Takeru and Ikari if they do that.
They could cheat. They could do, if you order them, it's random.
They have like little drink umbrellas. They have like drink hats for Takeru.
Congratulations. Here's your Kyria.
But yeah, so... And people probably think this is like a joke, and no, absolutely. The instant I know the menu's there, AR is getting a fucking message.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wonder if you get to at least order by, like, if everything's random, if you get to order at least by which series. Like, it is a weird combination.
So
2 Cross Wars and Try.
So I assume what it would be is let's say there's more than 1 drink per thing. I assume it's if you order the O2 drink, you'll get one of the O2 coaster card things.
Yeah, probably. It does. I mean, there are pictures of 1 drink per series, so.
Better be more than 1 drink. Because these, like, here's the thing. I'm sure at least 2 of these probably are not to my taste. They don't look bad. They just may not be to my taste. There's nothing here. There's nothing here that I look at and immediately go, "What the fuck is happening here?" There's something.
Yeah, not like Joe's drink, where it's just like pretty sesame seeds.
Yes,
sesame seeds.
Yeah.
It is nice because they're able to do it by series and not trying to tailor it to characters.
Well, hey, we don't know that. They might. We may still get one of those weird murky green Mimi drinks where every time we're just like, this like makes me queasy. So this starts in April, so we have to get stuff soon, and I will laugh my ass off if it's tonight after the show.
Oh no, don't do that. What is Zenjiro's drink gonna look like? I'm trying to. It's the Crosswords ones.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's gonna be a dark green drink, and they're gonna have a plastic sword in it.
No, it's gonna be a stick of Pocky.
Oh
no!
Yes.
What if they have like star-shaped sprinkles in it?
I think you mean star-shaped Nada de Coco. Although they had that on the Crosswords drink that we can see already.
Nene's drink is gonna blind you from a distance.
Oh, okay. So I just noticed something in the promo image that bothers me. Taiki is not holding what's probably his drink.
Taiki's drinking the try drink.
Yes. In fact, wait, no! Look at the Daisuke card. He's drinking it too.
He's thinking, they're all series traders.
And then, at the same time, they announced an O2 pop-up shop. So first theme, stuffed animals. I think the funniest part about this theme is like you can see the personality of them all holding these stuffed animals, and Miyako's choking Hakumon. She's like, gonna strangle you, motherfucker. Tracks. Yeah. Products are all pretty standard, but then, AR, were you here for when they announced the last round of EEO shops?
I don't remember.
I think it was a Ghost Game one. They did not do a Graph Arts theme. Something else was for the second theme. It was like generic SD cartoon art. They're back to Graph Arts, and the Graph Arts this time is Sleepover.
Oh, Sleepover. That's a classic.
It looks better than the Frontier Sleepover one from a few years ago. Although that wasn't Graph Arts, that was Anime Style, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't it both?
Was Graph Arts Sleepover? I don't remember. This one,
I don't remember.
This one I just like better because like Miyako looks excited. Hikari's drinking tea with Tailmon. Also, that is some interesting cat proportions for Tailmon in the sleeping art. And with Ken, you can definitely tell they went, what color should his pajamas be? Well, I guess his D3 is black, so that makes sense, is what they did. I like the art for both of these. Nothing special for the products, which not wildly unexpected, unfortunately. And then poll time. So, Dev, do you remember how we said Gatchmon was... Do you remember what I said? I said Gatchmon was going to dominate, which you said also. And we were trying to figure out number 2. Do you remember what I said was, I think Nailmon would be number 2 because he looks like the conductor from 999, so anime fans will vote for him. And it happened, and significantly, to such a degree. Was Mailmon in the anime at all?
Yes, Mailmon was one of the 7 codes.
Okay,
Mailmon was,
I thought
of the rest of them, I think Mailmon might be the most prominent one.
I thought he was, but I started wondering if I had imagined that.
It was either like the next most prominent ones after Gatchmon is Mailmon and Messamon, because Messamon was the last episode.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Messamon I thought would do better.
Yeah, Messamon's.
Gatchmon completely There's no shock that Gatchmon.
I was trying to talk myself into voting for something different, and
no, because who else are you gonna vote for from this selection?
Who else are you voting for?
There's no one. It's Gatchmon.
And then guess what?
And then for the new poll, look at all these choices before you vote for Musimon.
Half
of these, who are these people?
I'm trying to decide. Okay, Musimon is the first choice, but who would the second choice? I feel like it has to be Perorimon.
I was gonna say.
It's Perori. Yeah.
There's no one else memorable in this batch.
Tellermon's another 7 code, but yeah, it's Perorimon. Dokemon, I think, is the app link that Musimon fuses to become his next level.
I've seen some people wonder if Drawmon might do well because it kind of feels Splatoony in theme, and I don't know. I feel like
Also,
it.
Drawmon wasn't in the show,
Yeah.
so
I've
hard to
like here's the
say.
thing. Mucimon's winning. Period.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of any choice other than Perorimon, at least.
yeah. Yeah, no, Perorimon. He was. I
Okay,
mean,
now
he got his own episode.
Now here's the question: how much does Mucimon dominate? Perorimon got more than one episode, I think.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He got
there,
2.
there was at least 2, maybe a third. I don't remember.
I think Mucimon gets almost. I don't think he dominates as much as Gachmon.
Yeah, I
think
would
it'll
agree.
It'll be closer to 50%.
I think that's a fair guess. And then as we head to the weekend batch stuff. So first up, and this is where like I first went, oh, they really are doing a lot less with Digimon Partners, because it's like Digimon Partners had sold like merchandise. They had done poll stuff before Digimon Con. Here was a shirt giveaway, and it's not even branded as Partners. It's more branded for Terriermon. The Digimon music producer showed off a photo from an event 10 years ago. Wondering if people could figure out where it's taken. I think it was Jump Festa. I think. You can see the Tri logo, you can see the Super logo, and the logo of our favorite show, World Trigger, which we all love and have never watched.
At some point, I'll get around to watching it.
So
maybe.
okay, so Marius brings up a point for the poll a minute ago. He goes, "Is it a hot take to say 70% of Atmon look painfully generic compared to average Digimon designs?" I don't think it's that they look generic. It's that they didn't do anything that makes them memorable. So it's just generic monster X, Y, and
none
Z.
of them they all look pretty distinctive. It's
If
just
they
that
had
none of them have any the only 2 of them have any sort of personality with.
Yeah, I think it's that. So moving on from the music producer, Annabros showed off some of the 25th anniversary art products using the collaboration art that we saw over the past year. And God, the products look so nice for these. I need someone who's been in Japan to tell me, are those shirts really blind packed? That's psychotic if true. Like, absolutely not. So Museum showed off chalk art of Angelmon and some of the recent Street Series products. Some photos from Card Fest. The Digimon card game family people were there. Showed off photos. Everyone kept showing photos because Meguro was in the tournament, and every time he was using a different fish-themed memory guy. There was a picture of one which is a giant tuna. I believe I saw a photo. Someone took a photo of in his next match. It was a plastic piece of tuna sushi. So yeah, he kept doing that, and I don't know why Hideyoshi looks like Super Saiyan God, but yeah. Then more photos. Everyone was showing off behind the scenes. The actual like championship hall looked weird. It's weird because you forget like in the actual championship part there aren't that many people left, so it's like smaller and calmer.
Mm-hmm.
They make everyone wear those shirts.
Yep.
Then Kakudo took photos. This is some fans paid to put up mini ads using the 25th anniversary key art just to do it. Like before Digimon Con and everything, so he went to it, took some pictures. Ayumi Minato, and he noted that he posted this a bit late because, very belated, he said. Omegamon from our war game to celebrate its 25th anniversary. That's such good fucking art. Like,
I love watching the process of it.
yes. Ever since Digimon Paradox started being published, he's just been a wealth of showing off art. I'm glad he seems to have stopped taking suggestions, though. I was worried about him for a while, where like people were just throwing so many suggestions at him, and it really felt like he was going to try to draw them all.
Just very excited.
Then we get card game art where Zenith is just, hey, I'm popular. I can't decide if him being Char will make him more or less popular. Maybe both. Usagi Bochi posted art of Shoto and Owen. Tomo posted art of young Owen. Noted that the female staff for the comic and his wife both liked that design. Then we got 10th anniversary art for Cyber Sleuth. There's some good theming here, honestly.
All Digimon.
No. There's also
You're gonna get run over
there's also the poisonous coffee. Although I suppose if you leave it there long enough, it will become a Digimon. I bet you thought I was gonna say her. I meant the coffee.
I wanted to see if anyone would get caught with that.
No, the theming is actually good here. I actually think the only issue I have is because Terramon Assistant pops up so much, when you see the Terramon art, it's almost like we see him too much lately. Oh, that's great art. So the sign is Vita-ish. It is not exactly a Vita. That is the shape inspiration. Meta Knight asked in the chat if they're supposed to be holding a Vita. It definitely does not have, like, there's no controls or stuff, but you do see the notches where they're supposed to be. So think of it as like a celebration signboard that's vaguely Vita shaped, is the way I would put it. Let's see, next up is then this weekend, weirdly, we got stuff, but not too much. So they're like, hey, the cassette's soon. Get ready for it. They were announced how they're going to give away posters for Beatbreak. A few more photos from Card Game Fest as it was ending, which was nice. Photos from Anime Japan, which the Digimon setup there is actually very nice, honestly.
Yeah.
It looks very cool.
Yeah. Then Asmaria posted photos of the model kit that was on display from Digimon Con, but like really good photos. Masashi Hirata posted after to basically like, this is the best we've done so far. We plan to do more. Ayumi Minato posted a high-resolution version of his segment of the Digimon Comic 4 cover. Seeing that, I really hope we get all these in a decent resolution. They look so good. Card game art this time is Shoto dreaming of battling Owen. Usagi Bochi posted noting it was Shoto's birthday on March 20th. He will continue to try to be a cool card player, and he notes that is also the vernal equinox, a day to cherish nature and living things. Then, so Director Kakudo posted a few things. So first, him going over some of the new D3 stuff, like mentioning Yamamoto, who he wasn't sure he'd be able to contact. They also mentioned they had the prototype when they did the recordings last year. So they actually have it side by side with. I don't know if that's an original or a 15th anniversary, but those were basically the same size. Then the CSA. So it's in the style of the original, but a bit bigger. I also like to have the prototypes of the Digimentals. I just fucking love that, honestly. And Kakudo confirms that he was directing the voice recordings for it, for the D3. Which is neat.
I still want to eat the Digimentals.
Dev, I do not want to find out that when you order this, and then one day you message me like, oh, you're in the hospital. They're trying to pump your stomach because you decide to try eating one of them.
Depends on which one I eat.
I mean, the Courage ones, that's made of chocolate, right? According to the eye catch.
Yes, but it has a spike.
Nom 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 nom.
Then Toblerone.
Then some Digimon Con photos. So Director Kakudo showed that he went there and he had his little custom iPad case that he made last year. He showed off the lunch there, which he said was delicious. Then some photos of him with the host. And then Matthew also posted a photo of him with Terramon and Agumon. because Kakudo noted he was not on it, but he was there. And then various people who animated for Beyond or worked on it posted some of their work with permission. Some solid stuff here. And also, Kakudo told some interesting stuff about it. So, of note, the Braveheart, they use twin guitars in the opening. So he says he assumes most people watch on their phone, but try to watch with like headphones or something, because it actually flips around the sound.
Ooh.
Then he mentions that yes, the backstory is going to be released. He mentions mostly was made by Yamada Company, which was the movies. CG was from Toei, along with various staff who worked at Ghost Game and other stuff with him. Like the costume designer was from Ghost Game, the assistant director was from Ghost Game. And then there's the best part. Mr. Kawasaki, who did the CGI for Beyond, was in charge of the Imperial Germana evolution back in 2002.
Nice.
Mr. Cyan, the cinematographer, who helped Kakudo during Cross Wars. But yeah, but basically, and then he mentioned Mr. Kumagai only did 2 cuts, but it's been a long time since he got to work with him, which made him happy. And what's funny was we found a message from Kumagai. He notes the way he got hired for it was he was chatting with director Kakudo in a smoking area, and before he knew it, he was working on it. Yeah, so
he's
just
been drafted.
And then chat, time for questions. It's been very long, so throw questions up. We will start doing the ones we're sending ahead of time while you guys think of yours. What do you want to see from Digimon Story, Time Stranger, and Beatbreak? And do you think Time Stranger actually comes out this year? Time Stranger, I think we've all said yes, we expect it to.
Yeah, I do expect that.
What do we want to see from Time Stranger Beatbreak? Time Stranger first. I would like to see some uniqueness from Cyber Sleuth, because thus far, there are things that are different from Cyber Sleuth, but not unique. Like if you look at the press screenings of like that big water zone we saw when the game first got announced, it's not like that's an open area. It's just a tunnel that does not look like a blue tunnel. So far we're not seeing much. It isn't just okay. This is the same game, but more. I would like to see.
Give me some really fucking badass antagonists, please. Please.
Yeah, or maybe something a little less linear. I think would be nice to see.
Have some type of area that's a lot to ask for. Yeah, I would have some type of area that's a bit open might help.
Yeah.
Beatbreak, yeah. I think it's way too early to really like. Beatbreak, we've seen very little. All I want to see is I want to see that fucking little gremlin be like Sergeant Frog. I would like it to be good. I also keep kind of musing on, would it be a good idea to do something like Dragon Ball Daima where it's only 20 episodes in and out and just like be a very focused thing? I don't know. We'll see.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. To have, we don't need to have these 70 episode things again. These last 2 shows went too long.
Okay. Devin asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited were you to see Goatmon? Yeah, that was fucking bait to have you do that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Then someone asked if I did get Dev Vampire Survivors like we talked about last week. The answer is no. Because at first, me messaging Dev like daily, Dev, sales on. What's your Steam? What's your Steam? Then she sent it to me after Digimon Con and went, oh, we're actually friends. I just have a different name on Steam. While I'm writing articles, I didn't think about it until the next morning.
It's okay. My computer is
your
being more testy than usual, and even just having multiple browser windows open caused it to kind of like crash and burn.
Yeah, so. Then the same person asked, what games are you looking forward to? I will okay, the closest game that I'm looking forward to is we're a month and a half away from Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which I'm very excited for, because a lot of these games have not gotten modern ports before, and they all have proper online. I really think it would be great to play Power Stone with people online.
I think I'm looking forward to like whenever I can actually get around to playing it and purchase it, the Switch port of Guilty Gear.
That makes sense. Anything you're looking forward to, Eric?
I just want the new Samurai Pizza Cats game. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yes, that one too.
So I'm not only looking forward to that, I love how it appears they're taking game inspiration from Mystical Ninja.
Right?
Yeah. I'm also an asterisk for a lot, and I think all three of us are, because who knows what we're going to find out within the next couple weeks for the Switch 2.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, yeah. Matias says he disagrees with calling it Cyber Sleuth Plus. He feels that, sequel, it doesn't quite fit that way. He feels it's reactionary because they don't see it that way. We're calling it that at the moment because while there's different stuff in it, we're not actually seeing different mechanics or different stuff. It is all Cyber Sleuth, but prettier.
It has
so
pretty
far.
much the same vibes as Cyber Sleuth,
Like,
which isn't a bad thing,
Yeah.
but like we haven't seen that one thing that's really setting it
like
apart.
if you go to prior Digimon story games, they are very similar, but the actual structure of the world is different. Cyber Sleuth had the way it did its hub, even though it was very kind of boring to run around at times, it felt like it had some degree of life that helped, and it went very pseudo anime in a way that story-wise, some of the earlier stories didn't always feel like they did, even though that was the point. So they're saying,
like there's no argument that Cyber Sleuth is Dusk Dawn Plus.
Yeah. So what they're asking is, what would we do to make it not Cyber Sleuth Plus? What I would like to see is, I would like to see some different mechanics and stuff to do. Like, one issue Cyber Sleuth definitely had, and I would hope with more, is, okay, you get your mission and you run down a blue tunnel, you grab an item, you run back, you do a new mission, you're running down a blue tunnel. That was most of Cyber Sleuth, to be honest, was that. I don't want it to be that, but now I'm running down a tunnel in a forest in the digital world. Now I'm running down a factory in the digital world. I would like to see a bit more life, and this
more
here's the
variety, especially in subplots.
Here's the thing: the city hub may be that, but until we see more, is the city hub actually unique and different, or is it just the mall? And here's the thing: it is still early days for seeing stuff from the game, so the answer is we don't know. I doubt they would show everything that's new so quickly anyways. But it's like, for example, in the original trailer, we saw the gun thing. Is that actually going to matter, or is that just going to be the mechanic for capturing them?
And it's been long enough that just saying, hey, there's a new game coming, that's enough to get us excited for now.
Oh, no, absolutely.
As the game gets closer to release, I do expect there to be more things that hopefully make it distinctive.
Yeah, that's functionally what we're saying, is we would like to see it to be distinctively different and not just a reskin Cyber Sleuth with a new story. Which even at Digimon Con, they even pointed out was kind of an issue they had, where because they're showing some areas that are kind of similar, it does look like Cyber Sleuth. Or like Meta Knight points out, they'd like to see a new EXP system so you don't have to grind so much later in the game. I don't know. That kind of feels like that. That kind of feels like that is a story thing, though.
That's
doesn't it?
That's a typical RPG thing.
It is.
I think there are specific nitpicks about the leveling system in Cyber Sleuth that can be retooled. Actually, but that's the sort of thing I would expect.
Here's one thing. Here's one thing I would like to see. If they decide and do add multiplayer, they can't abandon it like they did Cyber Sleuth.
Mm-hmm.
The multiplayer in Cyber Sleuth functionally just became, are you using these exact 3 Digimon, and that's it. And I think the Digimon was UL Force Vidramon. Were the other two
I do not know the meta.
Were the other 2 UL Force? It sped something up in such a way that I don't think the other person got to do anything if you used.
I know what you're talking about. That was I think that was All Force's thing.
Yeah.
He had that special ability to let him go first every turn.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for, make PvP work, which is basically what James says in the chat. I'm not asking for the game to be wildly different. I would just like to have some stuff where it looks different than Cyber Sleuth theming, but so far the gameplay to me it still looks like going from Cyber Sleuth to Hacker's Memory. It's prettier, not wildly, but it's prettier enough. I would like to see some different mechanics or stuff, like throw in some more mini games or something, just stuff to fuck around and do.
Ooh, I love
Like you're gonna have all these Digimon towns. Have like games or stuff you could do just for fun. And okay, James points out exactly. They want the game to justify the price. This is being priced as a top tier game. If it's just Cyber Sleuth Plus but prettier, I don't know if it does that. Now, based on the polish of the game, it may not need anything new. I don't know if we're going to get that polish though, because even Hacker's Memory kind of didn't have that. Yeah, and even Jordan points out it's been 10 years. They don't want Cyber Sleuth Plus. That's where our concern lies. It's not that it looks like it's being built off the same engine, which it is. It's thus far, and I assume they're doing this on purpose, they're not really showing us new stuff. We're getting new Digimon, but we're not getting new game. Like, even when they did Digimon Con, they didn't really feature, like, does riding the Digimon actually do anything, or is that just a weird little visual quirk fun thing? Like, are there areas where you have to ride specific types of Digimon? Does it change the control? Like, I would like to see it do stuff. I'm hoping for some excitement in that area, because that's a cool mechanic, unless it's just a little visual whatever.
Also, is the Digimon you're riding even yours, or is it kind of like Sun and Moon in Pokemon, where it's just like, hey, you're going through this area, this is the one up for rental. Suck it up.
I would really like to see something mechanic-wise, like in this area, it's you have to leap across stuff, so it has to be Digimon like Garurumon. Or this area, you need something to swim across, it has to be something like in a Kakumon. I would like, even if it's basic, I would like something like that if possible. Moving on from that question, I guess I don't fully understand what the point of doing Digimon Adventure was, since it was a free thing with nothing it's made for, especially with the advertising for it after it aired. And then they asked a game question, which we'll get to in a minute. It's celebration. And also, here's the thing. Saying there was going to be a 4-minute adventure special got a lot of people to show up for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's the bait.
Content.
It's the bait.
It's something. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Madius, what you ask is sort of related to this, so we'll do yours in a moment. Someone said, why didn't they make a bigger deal of Cyber Sleuth hitting 2.5 million sales? Because they hit the 1.5 million a few months after the Switch and Steam version, so that million in half a decade is not super impressive, especially when you think of how cheap Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition has been over time. It's a good marker, but they don't necessarily want to make a big deal out of that, because you then don't want to go, okay, so that million in sales over the past half decade, they did 200,000 a year when the game was often $10. That's a good chunk of change, but it's not necessarily impressive when they want to talk about a new game. Then another question: how much of the game do we think Habu was involved with? It's impossible to know. We don't know even when real production started, when was pre-production. Like Habu talking about the game 7 or 8 years ago was pre-production. It wasn't full production. I would even be shocked if it was MediaVision redoing their engine, which clearly has had some updates. Habu, I would expect either listed as producer, co-producer, or potentially just as special thanks based on how they're doing it. It's also possible he would not be credited. There's no way to know how much he was involved. Although I feel like from what we've seen so far, I feel his hands on it. So far, at least. Is how I feel. Is that just about it for you guys for that? Or do you think there's...
Yeah, no, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, it looks very much like a Habu story game.
Yeah.
And that kind of connects to us calling it Cyber Sleuth Plus, at least at the moment. Someone said, would we like a Digimon Sergeant Frog crossover? Let's wait to see what they do with Beatbreak first before that joke. How do you like your pretzels for both the soft and hard kind? Soft pretzel, warm, the rock salt, and butter on it. I don't need any mustard or anything. I just need the salt and preferably butter.
I can't stand garlic parms. Soft is fine with salt. Although I generally do like a garlic parm. sauce on my pretzels.
Yeah.
No salt, just have it fucking drenched in butter.
For the hard pretzels,
Yeah.
my preference, honestly, is small that you can throw an entire one in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually I actually like the bigger hard ones, but they're such a pain to eat.
Yeah, like I like the Dots pretzels. Is usually my go-to.
Oh, the ones with the multi flavor, whatever the.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty good. Those are actually pretty good. Let's
usually bother my mouth, so me.
see. Last chance for questions in chat. How we feel about Digimon after Digimon Con for the upcoming year?
Fuck yeah.
It's a lot of promise for sure.
A lot of promise, a lot of influx. It's sort of like when we were talking about Digimon Expo. We don't really know what it's going to be. It may very well be this is DigiFest, but without the live stage stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think my summary is like there's a lot of promise. Let's see how they execute a lot of the things that they're hyping right now.
Because, for example, how many people were really excited about Ghost Game with the idea that it was going to be different, unique, and really good, and then everyone was gone after like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, we stuck with it the whole thing. A lot of people vanished for Ghost Game.
Yeah. Like, Ghost Game was very not quite what we expected, I think.
And I remember, like, the first couple episodes, we were like, holy shit, if it keeps up like this could be the best Digimon show ever.
Yeah. And then
it did not.
Yeah.
It did.
It didn't. It just didn't. It just didn't want to be that. So
no, and
like that's not what we. It wasn't like we had thoughts of what it was going to be, and it decided to be Kitaro with Digimon, which is fine for it, but
no, less good Kitaro.
What they wanted.
That's the problem. Yeah. Okay, last few questions, chat. Someone said, "How long are you going to sleep after the episode?"
Maybe an hour and a half tops, because I have to get to inventory.
Yeah. See,
at 3 in the morning.
I went to bed at 3 a.m. last night and woke up at 7. So I've been like in that for half the day until this started. So
I usually don't go to bed for another hour anyways.
Yeah, well, I was prepping podcast stuff last night.
I might go to Quick Trip and get a pretzel though.
See, now I have pretzels downstairs. Okay, then how long do you think the digital card game of a VPET partner you can raise on the side? I assume you mean in the app. It feels like that's for sure. Because it feels like the idea is the framing is going to be it's actually Liberator, but like some weird thing happening on the side. So I would assume you'll have some sort of Digimon partner. And also that's how stuff like Rearise hook people was. You could put the little Harrismon in the
yeah.
So yeah,
I think I had Bancho Lilymon at the end of the
so
it was over.
Yeah, I would assume you'll have something like that.
Hopefully they don't kill it off after a year and a half.
Do you think we will ever see that Ghost Game dub? We don't really know if that was a dub in the first place, to be honest. Like, that could have been a pilot dub to try to sell it. That could be because like the original Crosswords dub, we never saw. The one that William Winkler Productions did 3 or 5 episodes of, and it was done for Toei in California specifically to sell the show. This could be that same thing. We don't know. We won't know until who knows. It feels like it would work for Ghost Game to be dubbed, though. The problem is
I think so too. Yeah.
The problem is you run into the Atmon issue. Once a new show starts, you're sort of falling into the hole of get going.
Yeah.
Let's see. What new Atmon do you think we'll see in Digimon Liberator? It feels. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't. You go first because I don't do Liberator. I don't follow Liberator.
So I was gonna say I don't know if we will see new Atmon, but it feels like if it's continuing on and Atmon are now in the card game, it would be more normal to see them.
At the very least, just floating around in the background.
Yeah. New Atmon, I don't see it as impossible.
No, we're not.
I just don't necessarily see the point when they're going to be doing new stuff for Liberator.
My question is, are there going to be Atmon snuck into a time strain? That's what I want to know.
I feel like you do at least Gatchmon.
I think so too.
Like you can, do something like that.
I think you get a couple in there. Or, yeah, Gatchmon in his forms at least.
Why? Okay. Why do you think Sagittariumon is trying to execute Shattermon? I don't remember, to be honest. In that card. Then Marius points out
Their vibes were rancid.
the Vital Bracelet no longer exists.
It still has one.
I don't know if the Vital Hero is
but...
actually off shelves. I think they're actually still selling it, like in stores. I don't think they're doing new stuff with it, but I mean, here's the thing: you could sell the show. You could have that be a thing. There's ways to do it. You could have 1 or 2 figures. I wouldn't worry. So it's a weird thing, and AR will know what I'm talking about, so will Dev. Stuff that I said 5 or 10 years ago about the way the industry works was 100% true at the time. A lot of things are different now. Like, you can have the kids show that isn't necessarily meant to sell toys because it's selling something else. It's very strange what has changed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to answer this one. If Taichi Yamato's Omega-mon gets the X antibody, he will not be French. Okay, I think that's about it for questions. AR, what have you been up to?
I've been doing real life stuff, basically.
I've had much real life stuff also.
Just surviving. I'm on Blue Sky as AR Pulver. That's where you can find me.
Dev, what Wikimon Oroku do you like people to read? Better pick a fucking good one with this show.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I want to pick Goatmon, but I did that before.
Come on, Dev. Got to do better than that. I think she's hedging and saying Goatmon anyways.
It's gonna be Agumon.
And
that's a good idea. Yes.
Yeah.
No, Agumon Holly mode.
Agumon. Yep. There you go. I want to say,
motherfucker! I forgot about that fucking typo. Where they kept calling it Holly mode.
Holly mode. I did actually put up a thing on my Tumblr about breaking down Beyond a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think
that's worth checking out. I think you referred to it in the show. But yeah, I put up a little bit about my thoughts on Beyond, some of which will apply now after reading some of the other about the Eorian high school business. That puts it like, oh, maybe it's before Kizuna, which is a wild, silly wrinkle.
Yeah, I want to see what background stuff we get with so much.
I want to know if this background stuff is at all
coherent.
Is one coherent and two actually does Kizuna and TB?
It'd be interesting.
Because it is interesting. Because yeah.
So thank you everyone for showing up. We will catch you next time. Unless with karaoke stuff, it will be just me and Dev. If there is karaoke stuff, AR may not show, but you can guarantee I'm going to ask.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And God, after the past 2 weeks,
because here's the drink review.
After the past 2 weeks, because even before Digimon Con, they were announcing a lot of stuff. I would like the next 2 weeks to be calm so we can have a quick show.
Good luck with that.
So we will catch you all later. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.